say I was born ready, but I was actually born 3.5 weeks late. So I was not born ready.
So you're just always making up for lost time now.
That's right. That's right.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast. I just went blank.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of the number again.
Episode 101. Remember, it's
Highway 101. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah, you just said that.
I know. I got a lot on my plate right now.
I bet if we had a T-shirt that had that on there, he would know it, though.
Oh, well, maybe. You wouldn't, would you, Sturt? Box. Welcome back, everyone, to the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast. Gentlemen, we're on the Highway 101 this evening.
Whoa, guys, episode 101. We officially have an episode for every Dalmatian. This is exciting. All 101 Dalmatians can have their own episode. I'm excited about that.
We'll just divvy it out to each of them. Here, take one. That would be
Cruella
fantastic.
DeVille stealing all of our episodes.
Or
Marjorie
Volpine. Maybe that's what we have. One for all of Marjorie Volpine's interludes with our podcast.
I want those Sturts.
Sturts. Give me the Sturts.
Guys, big news today.
I bet I know what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, a little eBay making a little $1.2 billion transaction.
A little DePop.
We need to start an app. It doesn't even have to be reselling related. We just need to start an app and have a major corporation buy it so we can all just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people over at Etsy, I guess they're counting their money today.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Aren't they?
They're all just like walking around Scrooge McDuck style. The Etsy offices tomorrow, it's all Maseratis just pulling up in the parking lot.
Maserati for everyone. Johnny, I kind of thought, though, you would be in on that deal. Did you not get any?
Well, I did get some of my investors together, but we were $1.2 billion short.
So eBay did not acquire Frizzy's Finds as well?
No. I think I've got to roll out the website first before they make that transaction.
I have a thought, though, that Sturt actually kind of got a little smile today when he found out the news. He's like, ha, DePop.
He was like, shut it down. I hope they shut it down immediately.
Permanently, completely off. Let's get rid of it.
I am curious to see, obviously time will tell, but I'm curious like how eBay views DePop. Obviously it was a clothing category that they wanted to have part of. And it was probably substantially cheaper than like buying out Poshmark. But like, do they look at it as like we acquire it and just, eat it and it becomes eBay, or do they look at it as total separate things and leave it totally separate? I'll be curious to see that.
If they leave it, what do you think they will do with it, though, Johnny?
Well, hopefully they do bring in some eBay things that, so they like Depop, if you guys don't know, they have non-binding offers. So somebody can send an offer, you can accept it, and then they don't have to buy it. And the way that Depop looks at it as it just allows people to like window shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand their point. I just don't agree. I don't agree with it.
Right.
So hopefully you'll see some things like eBay coming in and being like, no, we have binding offers now. Maybe give a little bit of flexibility on shipping and just things like that. If you go on like Depop's app, you can't search your closet. You can't search your own closet. So it's like little things like that that hopefully eBay already has the technology for, where they can kind of upgrade and make some improvements.
Do you think it'll change your meeting in New York now? Dear Johnny, we did us being sold.
We did get an email, and I wrote back and was like, hey, I heard about the news, thinking of you guys. Because I know like acquisitions are scary, right? Like everyone touts it as this is better. It's better until you get laid off. Then it's not better. So
right.
So did you even? I didn't even know that Etsy owned Depop. I thought it was a completely standalone company. So when I saw that Etsy sold Depop to eBay. Did you know that?
I didn't until like 2 weeks ago. Depop invited us to be, I don't know, we're in some top seller club thing, and we had to fill out some tax paperwork. And I started getting all this tax paperwork from Etsy. And at first I thought it was a scam. And so I wrote our girl and was like, hey, I just want to make sure because I'm getting all this Etsy paperwork. And they're like, no, that's right.
So I wonder when Etsy bought Depop, because I don't remember there being anything about that. Because I'm pretty sure Depop started out as its own company, but I mean, I can't say I'm well versed in the history of Depop.
I would look it up, but it'll probably kick me off the internet. So,
Sturt, do you feel just a little bit betrayed?
In what way?
Well, because you've been on Etsy, right?
Yeah.
For a while. Okay. So how do you feel about Depop now coming into the eBay world?
You know, I do feel like it makes more sense under eBay umbrella than Etsy because, I mean, Depop, correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, it's primarily known as kind of streetwear. If you just say Depop, that's the first thing that comes to people's mind, which doesn't fit under really Etsy at all. I mean, Etsy's handmade and vintage and antique, where eBay, I think, also probably has quite a bit of streetwear, for selling there. So I think it fits better under that umbrella, but...
Well, I guess it makes sense for Etsy because they kind of diversify their portfolio that way.
I mean, from my standpoint, I can't sell any less than I am now. So, I mean, it's, maybe it'll be a good thing.
I did, though, Johnny. When I heard that today, I was like, uh-oh, does that affect Johnny's meeting? About that.
It was funny. I was talking with Lizzie this morning about it, and I'm like, I wonder how that impacts us. And she's like, well, they said it's going to be separate for a while. So, no, I go like us specifically. Right. How does that work? But there must have been, clearly there were numbers showing that the generation below was not shopping eBay. And in order to get a hold of, that market share, I would have to assume that would have been the reason why they did that.
Once they'll target that kind of market with Depop, Johnny.
What's that?
You think they'll target the younger crowd with that part of?
Well, I think to have that in their arsenal, right? Because now they have an entire generation where most people aren't shopping on eBay, they're shopping on Depop, and now you've just acquired basically that whole buyer pool, which would probably make sense.
Right. So here's what it says about that. It says Etsy, and this is when Etsy bought Depop. Etsy announced its acquisition of the resale marketplace Depop for approximately $1.625 billion in cash on June 2nd, 2021. So it's been 5 years.
Wait, and they lost money?
How much was it sold for?
I don't know, but it says the deal was officially completed on July 13th, 2021. Depop was acquired to expand Etsy's reach into the Gen Z demographic in the apparel resale market, but I never saw any traction that Etsy made inroads into the apparel market. So, so they sold, and they sold it for $1.2 billion. So they lost a quick $100,000 a year, little less than $100,000 a year.
Well, clearly they're not showing up in Maseratis. They just took a hit.
Or Pintos.
Here's the headline. It's almost the exact same headline that it says eBay buys Depop for $1.2 billion in effort to lure younger shoppers. So pretty much the exact same thing it said Etsy bought them for. That's
what the problem. I know we have to move on. The problem is I saw a report that Gen Z, they don't drink, right? They don't drink as much as previous generations. So they're not on at 2 a.m. drunk buying things. All that money.
We have, Sturt, a special guest, Johnny. Backstage, Allie, tall girl, picker, getting ready to come in.
All right. You want me to go ahead and just introduce her before you bring her on? So as you mentioned, tonight we're going to be joined by Allie, better known as the Tall Girl Picker on Facebook. She's a reseller and a content creator, and she's from what I've seen, built a really strong and rapidly growing presence on Facebook. And I know while, we focus primarily on the reselling side of things, Allie's focused a lot on the Facebook, like content creation. And I'll be curious to hear, how she divides her time between reselling and content creation. So yeah, without further ado, let's bring on Allie, the tall girl picker from all the way out in Oregon.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How about y'all?
Doing
Good.
great.
Doing great.
First question is, Allie, how is your daughter?
She's okay. She's good. Sore, all of that. Yeah, that was quite a thing. About an hour and a half before I was supposed to come on with y'all on Sunday, I got that call. That's the call no parent ever wants to get.
Right.
Yeah, and so that was not fun, but shockingly, everyone in the car. There was 4 teenage girls in the car. And they were all pretty banged up and sore and all of that, but mostly okay, considering they plowed through halfway through a house.
Well, we are glad that they're all okay, including your daughter.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Wes, I thought your first question was going to be asking Allie how tall she is. So
That's my second question.
that was your second question.
That's usually.
It would have been your first question.
It would have. Yes, Sunday it would have been, but since we've had this situation arise, I just thought I would ask about the daughter first. So, how tall are you, Allie?
I'm 6 feet tall.
6 feet tall. I like it.
Yes. And I get that question a lot when I go live. So I go live once a week on my Facebook page. And I guess because of the proximity of my shower behind me. So you're in the Loo, by the way.
Wow.
my Facebook live that I do is called Live from the Loo. And
Okay.
and so people are always like, how tall are you? I guess I look like a giant with the proportion with my I don't know.
Well, I was going to say this was the first interview in a bathroom, so this is a first.
Yeah,
it took 101 episodes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you'd be in the bathroom when you came on, but I was going to mention that your live show is called Live from the Loo.
Give me just a second.
I debated. I was like, do I get a space ready in my inventory room, or I went back and forth with it, and I was like, you know what? I go live from my Loo every week. That's where people that come to my lives know me from. So I thought, what better place? And I am almost guaranteed privacy and no interruptions in here too. That's why I started in here, and then it just turned into a whole thing.
Hey, it's all about branding. So
right. I didn't plan that. I definitely didn't think that I would be having a whole Loo Crew.
Well, Allie, I am 6'6" myself. So
there you go. My oldest son is that height as well.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say Wes is constantly starting new podcasts, so I was sensing a podcast opportunity here, like Tall Girl Picker and the Slim Flipper.
No. Tall Boy Picker coming soon.
Tall Boy, the Tall Boy and the Tall Girl
Tall
Picker.
Boys, yeah.
Tall Boy is a whole different thing, though.
Wes, do people ever ask you how slim you are?
Actually, they have. You'd be surprised. That's why I wear black a lot. It's very
So, Allie, tell us a little bit. So, I've gotten to know you just from Facebook and watching you in your bathroom on Friday nights. And
that didn't sound weird at all.
Yeah. She's like, wait, I go live on Thursdays. What are you doing on Friday?
I want to be the last episode we shoot. Thank you so much.
So, I guess kind of tell us a little bit about your journey. I mean, did you start out as a reseller and then you transitioned over to Facebook, and what made you take that leap into doing content creation? Because you do a really good job at it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. No, I started just reselling, and I quit my fancy corporate job in, I think August or September of 2024. Had been with the company for 9 years and worked my way up and was in a higher level, management position that was basically killing me. And, it was great until it wasn't. And then it was time to go. And So I made the decision. Actually, my doctor had something to do with that too, because it was literally killing me. It was making me sick.
Mhm.
And so, I just decided to go for it. I had been watching other resellers online videos and just thought, I've always done some kind of side hustle, some kind of selling in my life. But once I started seeing these people doing it and making a living at it, that really, and I couldn't tell you specifically which one. I watched all kinds of them, and I just kind of binged out on other people's content
Mhm.
for long enough to where I was like, why can't I do that?
Mhm.
And so I officially started and made my first sale on eBay in December of 2024, and I was hooked. That was it. That
Hmm.
was it. And I just absolutely love it. And I continued to, it's a great way to find out things to look for, right?
Mhm.
And so I continued watching other creators. And it wasn't until I believe I created my Facebook page in August of last year, but I didn't really do much with it. Just, invited a few of my friends, that kind
Mhm.
of a thing, and didn't really post that much, maybe a couple, 2, 3 times a week. And then, as I kind of branched out and watching more creators, and especially seeing some of the larger ones who are more transparent with the potential, and
Mhm.
and all of that. It was like, again, I was like, why can't I do that? you
Yeah.
know? And so I really started taking it seriously and being consistent and posting more in October, right beginning of October of last year. And it just in getting involved in other groups and pages and getting my name out there and helping others. And I've always been a helper. I've always worked in helping fields, and so I enjoy that part of it, putting information out there, providing valuable information to help others, just as others have done for me and continue to, and being able to put that out there. That really, and then also, I was really going through if you've been reselling for any amount of time, it can be kind of isolating.
Mhm.
And I had really been feeling that prior
Right.
to getting really immersed in the online community, and that just kind of broke through that for me. And building these connections, I've made some amazing friendships, along true friendships, not
Mhm.
just people
Right.
that I talk to on the phone often with, and um I love that part of it. I needed that, and
Mhm.
that just really kept me going through that and got me out of that isolation, thing that I was experiencing. And I've just really enjoyed it. So here I am now. So it was October. So what, 4.5 months later, I'm coming up on 5,000 followers, and
Awesome. Awesome.
I got monetized in December 17th. So it took me about 2.5 months to get the invitation to become monetized. I am not paying all the bills with that, I promise. Yet, like who knows what'll happen. And that's never really been the goal. Like I said, it was, getting out of the isolation, providing helpful information, adding value, making connections. All of that has been and will be the priority. If it can turn into something that also is an extra income stream, cool.
Yeah.
That's a
Right.
bonus, so, but it's been a lot of fun, and I'm learning. Like, I'm just going to preface anything I share with you all. I don't know everything. And I think most of us that are out there doing this thing are kind of just figuring it out as we go. It's ever changing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Just when I think I've got something figured out, it changes again. So,
Well, let me immediately, Allie, throw you back to 0 followers. I'm gonna throw
yeah,
you right back to that moment. What
yeah.
would be some things you want to go back and immediately tell yourself to restart? What would you do?
Uh, it definitely the engagement, and being in, not that I wasn't doing that, but
Mhm.
to,
Mhm.
you know like I said, I thought I had things figured out so many times along the way. And my big three now that I do and that I preach is consistent posting, consistent engagement, and being authentic in all of that. So, don't go down the follow for follow route. That's not it. That's not it. When I see someone, where they are following more people than are following them, I know, that's a telltale sign. And I get it, like we're so eager, this isn't throwing shade or judgment. I get it. I was tempted by it for a day or two myself. I didn't understand, but that's just not where it's at, being real, being yourself, going out there and spreading it out to everyone, because it's not just about me and on what's happening on my page, going to other people's pages and, looking through their content, commenting, and again, authentically.
Yeah.
The copy paste stuff also isn't it,
Right.
And I
Allie,
fell for that too.
To kind of piggyback off that a little bit, our on the Frizzy's Find side of things, like our biggest platform from a content standpoint is YouTube. We're more YouTubers than IG or Facebook and things like that. And one of the things that we have noticed is that each platform, there's kind of a different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
If that,
I've heard that.
Do you see that, or I know you do a lot of Facebook stuff, but do you look at the other platforms?
So, no.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm, Gen X. That's, I've started with Facebook and have stuck with Facebook because that's what I know. Because I'm of that age. I have children that are like, my children are, a couple of them are in their 20s and they're like, Mom, Facebook, really? I'm like, that's what I know.
Johnny's substantially younger than the rest of us. So, so did you have? So was there like one video that you put out, or a reel, I guess they're called on Facebook, or a post that you thought, I can make this work? I mean, like it blew up, or do you remember a certain post that kind of pushed you over the edge?
Yeah, my first one that went crazy, because I stayed away from reels initially quite a bit. Like I didn't stay completely away from them, but a majority of what I posted was photos and text, mostly photos with text, right? And I was just kind of intimidated by reels because I would see what other people were doing and all the fancy editing and all of that. And that's not me, I don't have those skills, okay?
She was like, here it is.
So, but yeah, I put a reel out that is like literally 19 seconds of me walking in a Goodwill aisle, walking up to a Corningware piece, picking it up, looking at it, and putting it in my cart. No words, no music, that's it. The squeaky wheel on the cart, the announcements going off in the background, and it went crazy. And I don't even know what it's at now, but I mean, it's over 50,000. I might even be closer to 60 or 70. That's not crazy to anybody else, but to me and when that happened, that was insane. And then, my actually top viewed reel right now is me walking in the same Goodwill, shooting, 30 seconds of the end caps, because they're all colored. They're all different colors. That's it. I'm talking, again, nothing fancy, no editing, boom, put that out there, and it went nuts. And it's well over 100,000. It might be 170,000 now.
Oh, wow.
So which would you think you are, though? A reseller or a content creator?
Oh, both. Both.
If you had to split one, though, which one would you take?
Oh, well, reselling, because it's paying the bills, and I love them both, right? But I gotta back to my roots and what's paying the bills, and that's always going to be reselling.
So how do you split the time right now? Like what would you say would be the percentage breakdown between reselling and content creation that you're doing?
That's a tough one because a lot of times I'm doing both. Like when I'm out thrifting,
Yeah, the
I'm also
sourcing
taking
part
video.
obviously can.
Yeah. Definitely spending more time on the content creation when I normally would have been maybe like doom scrolling.
Mhm.
I don't really doom scroll that much anymore. um, Gosh, it's really tough. I don't know if it's 50-50. I would say probably more 60-40-ish on the reselling heavier, because again, that's paying the bills, right?
Mhm.
Got to keep that going and listing every day. But again, there's a lot of stuff that overlaps, because
Well,
I'm posting
like you
about
said,
reselling and content.
I think the nice thing on Facebook, since it is mostly short form stuff, that you're right. There's probably a lot of overlap. I mean, you can film yourself packing something, you can film yourself sourcing. Where I do feel like a lot more of the big YouTubers tend to do longer form videos, and a lot of them, I feel like once you get to a certain level on YouTube, you're reselling just enough to get you content for your channel, but you're making your money from YouTube. So
Right.
Yeah, I'm convinced most people on YouTube put that stuff back.
And I
film
don't
it, set it
see
off.
that.
I just filled the cart, and now watch me go put it all back because I'm not really going to buy it.
I've seen that on Facebook too, and I told myself from day one when I started doing the Facebook stuff and the content, I don't want to be that reseller that's out there telling you how to be a reseller when I'm not actually doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like
one of the things asking you before, and I know you're on Facebook and not so much the other platforms. We just started posting on Facebook, but one of the things that we noticed on Instagram is Instagram seems to be much more, we'll say, curated, where it's a highlight reel, but it's not like a genuine like watch me win. It's almost like this I'm better than you kind of vibe to that, and I think that's part of like Instagram, for instance, that like we struggle with watching. Because it's just like, look what I found better than you.
Right.
Where this community isn't really like that.
Right.
In general.
Yeah, that's what I have loved. Now there's some of that out there.
Oh yeah.
There's some pages and some people out there that can be very negative, and I've seen bullying. I've seen some stuff. I've seen some things, and I really try to stay away from that as much as I possibly can. I didn't come here to do that, and I don't want that represented in. I really believe that who we associate ourselves with is who we become.
Yep.
And so I try to keep my circle tight as far as uplifting, positive, just supportive, that kind of environment. And I try to provide that so that we're all winning. And I love that about the community that I have found, in the reseller community.
Yeah.
Again, for the most part. And so it's just been really surprising, honestly. A big reason why I hesitated to even start a page was because of all the things I heard about, all the hate and that happens. It does. But
this is like the only niche where you try to help your competition. every time we make a video, and we're like, hey, pick up this brand, like in the back of our head we're like, this is dumb. Why are you sharing this?
I am
60 people in your building. Johnny said pick it up.
Here is where I go, here is when I go, here is what I'm buying, and like,
no joke. I know that I have been missing out on some of the deals because I know there's some local people in my area that are watching my videos, and I'm like, maybe I'm not going to share about that particular thing that I want to get at that estate sale until after the sale.
Guys, I actually go across state lines. Here's where you'll want to go.
People will ask us, they'll be like, what city do you live in? We're like, North Carolina.
Yeah.
That'd be like us, Wes. We would just go to the Carms. That's where they have all the great deals.
Farm has everything. Yes, everything you've ever wanted. Yes.
Yeah, they're like the overpriced thrift shop here in Knoxville.
I figured. Yeah.
So how do you deal with, because I know the more you grow, the more you're going to have trolls commenting on your stuff and haters and just negative people. And so how have you handled that? I don't know if it's been a huge issue yet, but I'm very anti-conflict, so that's what always bothers me. So it's...
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that it doesn't get to me at all. I just really have, I went into it knowing that was going to be a part of it, right? And so I mentally prepared myself for that. Actually, it actually took quite a while for it to happen. And my answer, and I'm not Southern, but I think I was in another life or something, because I just hit him with the bless your heart.
Oh man, the worst, the lowest of low blows down here.
Bless your heart.
I mean, and yeah, so for the most part, that's either that or just not, because to me, I feel like no response is also a response.
Yeah.
So I try not to feed into it.
Are you able to look at yourself in the mirror knowing you steal from the poor?
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of mad at myself because I forgot to write down the stats that I had about that. I did some, because I got one of those comments recently, and gosh, what was it?
Feeling a whole lot from the poor, evidently, John.
Yeah.
I literally I just Googled it. This is readily available on Google.
Yeah.
And out of all the things that are donated to thrift stores, it's like 20% that actually gets sold.
Yeah.
So 80% is either being shipped overseas that then gets dumped in their used for rags or whatever, but also in their landfills or in their oceans, and or in our landfills.
Yeah.
And and also I've been poor. So I know that when I was poor, and here in Oregon, we get a 10-cent rebate on turning pop cans and soda cans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I had to take cans back to put gas in my car. Sometimes I've had more than once I had to do that. I had to have a yard sale and sell everything of value I had just to keep the lights on. So I know what it's like to be poor. And I wasn't at the thrift store buying the little collectibles and the overpriced name brand, the things they were charging too much money for, name brand clothing and all of that. I wasn't ever.
Yeah. You were the only poor person who wasn't, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have bigger things to worry about other than Gucci when the lights aren't staying on.
Yeah, right. No, I for sure wasn't looking for that stuff. If I was going to the thrift store, it was to find, clothes for my kids. That kind of stuff.
If you want to get an interesting perspective on thrift shops, just to plug our own podcast here for just a second, go watch episode 90. We had Maggie from Art Thrift in Colorado on. And I mean, she gives a lot of perspective on just like what you were talking about, how much stuff's, thrown away, and then what they do with all their stuff. I mean, their goal is to keep as much stuff out of the landfill as possible, but it's a really, really interesting episode. Kind of gives you a look behind the scenes of how a thrift store operates.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the other thing. I don't know if this is the case in every community, but in my community, we have several that are nonprofits and provide services to the poor, to the low income, I'm helping fund those programs. I have been on the receiving end of those programs in my life before. They do a lot in my community anyway. I know there's some thrift stores that have kind of a reputation of not doing enough. That claim to be doing all that, but their CEOs are making zillions of dollars. I get it. But I have two in particular in my community that do tons in the community. When we had the huge, big wildfires that took out half the country over here in 2020, and our town was a evacuee site, and so we had thousands of people evacuating to our town, and they were just rolling out with the donations and the
Mm-hmm.
clothing items and the people that lost everything and the food and putting them up in hotels. And I mean, like they really do a lot in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel really good about making those purchases, knowing that that money is helping in the community and helping the less fortunate.
We have even our Goodwill's, and Goodwill's an easy target, right? And we know that the CEO makes a bajillion dollars, and
Right.
CEOs, they make bajillions of dollars. That's the perk
Right.
of being a CEO, I guess.
Right.
But ours actually has really great programs. Like they do HVAC training and plumbing and
Yes.
computer training, and it's obviously Goodwill. If everyone doesn't know, it's jobs. That's really what their goal is, to help people get work. Teach someone to fish versus feeding them a fish.
Right.
And they really do like great things. And if we're just going to rely on the less fortunate to fund that, then they go away.
Right.
And if the side caveat is that the CEO gets richer, well, then I guess that happens. But the programs and the impact in the community, it's kind of a big deal.
It is a big deal. Absolutely. Yeah. No, and I agree. They're an easy target, but they do a lot as well.
Tell me what I need to do better, because I'll be the first to admit I'm not consistent with my posting, but I have put a concerted posting more, and my reels will get a lot of views, but no engagement. And I'll sit there and look. And I know you don't want to compare yourself to others, but you'll go. This reel I put out, it's really, in the same kind of category, not really that much, because you only do reels so many different ways. So why I get 300 views but I only got 6 likes. It's. Right. I mean, maybe I'm just not likable. That could be it. So, but
no. There's kind of a there's some things to it, and I'm not going to say that it works every time, because even though I do these things, it doesn't work every time. It sometimes.
Stewart, have you thought about posting reels of you like in your bathroom? Maybe it's the location. Maybe it's the location. Maybe you run a bubble bath. Run a bubble bath and do a wax hold.
Yeah, it's a bubble bath. That's it, Johnny. There you go.
I would say some really important things with that, because again, I'm just learning as I go, but something I have learned is to always ask a question. So even if it's the question the answer to, it doesn't, is this really worth this? Or would you pay this? Or, I don't know, whatever the question is, right? Putting a question, and that goes with reels and posts.
That just generates people getting involved in the conversation.
Right. They're going to be inclined to answer if you ask a question. If you just put the information out there, they're not going to be as inclined to respond in any way. They might take it in and think that's great, but they're probably not going to like it, and they might probably not going to comment. But if you're asking a question, and that's, then that is getting the conversation started. So I always recommend that. I don't do it on every single post, but probably more than 90% of my posts and reels are some form of asking a question in there, so that I can get that conversation started. And it helps. So, and the consistency. So before I got monetized, I was posting 5 to 7 times a day. And then once I got monetized, I bumped it up. So now I'm 8 to 12 times a day. So, and I'm playing with that, different times of day, and I try to spread them all out. I don't want to have everything hitting all at once, and you're not going to get the visibility if you do. That's like spamming it,
Yep.
So, give it usually about an hour to 2 hours apart. Sometimes I schedule them. So because I'm on the West Coast, and I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. to start posting, I'll schedule my first, 2 or 3 in the morning. Because I do my what did I list yesterday and what did I sell yesterday, and then I'll usually do a reel, so I can have that prepared, because I know the day before what sold that day. So I'm a day behind on my sales and my listings, so that way I can do that. Everything else is pretty much, unless I have appointments or I have something where I'm not going to be able to post, pretty much on the fly, in the moment. So,
Allie, how have you been able to balance really being new to reselling, which is a beast of its own, and then the content creator part of it? We're like, my wife and I, we're resellers first, right? And the content creator comes second. So something will happen, or we'll walk out and be like, oh, we should have filmed that. Oh, we should have filmed. Why didn't we film that? Or, oh, I forgot the microphones. Like, how do you balance your brain to, especially being new to both, on like, okay, like this is something to film?
Right. It really took a shift in mindset. I call it the content creation mindset, the content mindset. And that shift didn't happen immediately. And I went through, when I first started, it was like, what am I going to talk about now? Well, what I do, and I always tell everybody, you got to do what works for you. So my page is not just about reselling, and it's not just about content creation. There's life, right? Because life happens. I posted about, my daughter's accident. I posted things about my mom and I, and I've posted, I've posted stuff that's happened to me in my past and all kinds of stuff, to just kind of shit like, I'm real. These are real things that have happened to me. Here's lessons that I've learned from them. And here's how I apply it to reselling, or how I apply it to whatever, but I put a little bit of everything out there. And I think, because it's authentic, I think people really appreciate that, that it's not just all one thing. And there's pages out there that just do only one thing and they're successful too. So, again, not saying that, but that shift in thinking, really had it happened. When it happened, it was like, I kept getting these messages from other creators. They're like, content is everywhere.
Yeah.
Post it, when in doubt, post it out.
Yeah.
It's one of the things. And once I shifted my mindset to that, you literally see it everywhere.
Yeah.
We and I've still missed some things.
Yeah. My wife and I joke to each other all the time. Everything is content.
Really, truly. Yeah.
And, we have a separate podcast, and we were talking on it about, do you have an ink printer? And our theory is, if you are a grandparent, you should have a working ink. The expectation of you is to have a working ink printer. Yeah. And it was something that, Stewart, you have a working ink printer?
I do have a working,
of course you do. Wes, do you have a working? You don't. Oh.
But I do have a label printer too. I've got my Rollo too. So.
Yeah, we've got the newer ones. Yeah.
So I'm like the cool granddad, Johnny. I got the ink printer and the Rollo printer.
Yeah.
But the point of that was, it was off the cuff, just like a haha.
Yes.
And the engagement on that was insane. Yes. I have a printer. My mom has a printer. I don't have a like.
You're like, what is happening?
But to the point, like, it's out. You put it out there, and you never know what people are going to react to. What's going to just be a trigger of like. Because we said, like, if you are not a grandparent and you have a working ink printer, you have your stuff together. So people are like, I have an ink printer. I don't have my stuff together. Like, it just. But if you don't say that,
right,
it's not there to engage with.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing. It's some of the most random things are the things that end up just blowing up. And so that's why, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. When in doubt, post it out. Yeah. You just never know. Some of the things that I'm like, there's no way anybody's going to relate to this. Everybody could relate to it. You know?
So, Allie, did you use your own personal Facebook page, or did you start a new one and it just called it Tall Girl Picker? Did you start that from ground zero, or how did you work? I
started from ground zero on that one and made it a business page. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. So I think when I officially started pushing, and in October started actually being consistent and doing, I maybe had a couple hundred followers at that point.
And you got 5,000 now? Is that what you said?
Almost. So here's the other thing.
Follow Tall Girl Picker on Facebook.
Here's the other thing, though. It is a roller coaster, just like reselling, right? That up and down, and sometimes it makes no sense, and you could be doing all the right things, and it just falls off, just like with eBay and sales. And I am feeling that hard this week.
How are you handling that though when it happens?
It's hard not to let it affect me negatively. So I've been giving myself a pep talk today. And just like, this is just a season, this is just the dip, and the roller coaster. It's hard. It is hard. And because I'm newer to that, and because there has been so much upward momentum that's been happening, this one, I've had a day here and there of that, but this has been pretty much all week, and it's really been rough, and it was getting to me, and I was like, you know what? Reset, reframe, just keep going.
So is it almost then, is it kind of like reselling too, in that you just got to kind of list your way out of it, keep posting content? And
I mean, I'll let you know.
Just keep posting.
Up to about 3 weeks. Let's see.
I'm still in it, so I'll let you know. But that's what I hear. And that's what, others that are larger, have larger pages have said they've experienced that too, and just keep going. Don't give up, keep posting. What I assume then is that when it does pick up and that upward momentum comes back, that some of that older stuff will start getting, some attention again, too. So I've had that happen too, where something I posted 2 weeks ago all of a sudden starts taking off. It's just the weirdest thing, So
I was thinking about this the other day. So do you think the Facebook monetization model is sustainable, not necessarily from the creator standpoint, but from Facebook's standpoint? Because it seems like most of the people commenting, viewing, are just other resellers on Facebook. At least that's what I've seen from the likes and comments, where YouTube seems to be a lot more, people aren't necessarily also creating content. And I know there's some of that on Facebook, but it's like, where's the money coming from to fund all this? I know it's from ads and stuff, but still, it's like I don't see the tangible thing like I see on YouTube. You go and watch somebody's video, and a ad pops up right in the middle. That's paying for the monetization. I don't really see that in Facebook. I guess you see stuff on the sides, and so I guess they're just paying people for bringing people to Facebook, not so much paying them to watch individual content. I was just curious maybe what your thoughts were.
I'm not sure on the pay part of it, because that's them doing that paying, and I'm sure they're making money.
Oh yeah,
right. Certainly they're making money somehow.
But
yeah, what I feel, and I agree with you that it feels, especially starting out, it was all resellers. That just about probably 95+% was other resellers. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I know there's a lot of resellers out there, but at some point that's going to cap out. And, how are people getting a broader, casting a broader net and getting other people? And I think my humble opinion is Reels. So, and that's where when I got more into, posting more Reels, and had some of them start blowing up, and that follower count just through the roof with those. Now, I was still getting followers before that, but that's where the crazy numbers started happening, was through Reels. And so if I could go back and change something, and it all happens how it's supposed to, and I truly do believe that. However, if I was going to say, if I could have changed something about how when I started, it would be that I would have started taking Reels more seriously earlier on, posting more of them earlier on. And I don't know that would have changed anything. Who knows? But I feel like based on my experience with those, it very well could have.
Allie, have you been at it long enough to feel any burnout whatsoever?
This week has been, when it's rough
When the
and
lean
it's
time
slow.
hits?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're still grinding and you're still pushing and you're still putting it out there and nothing's happening.
Mhm.
That's when the burnout. It's hard not to see the results.
Right.
When you're pushing so hard. So
This really is like the hardest time, when you're either not yet monetized or so early in monetization that you're not you're not
Yeah.
monetized.
Right.
And you're like, if I just stopped, I would give myself time back.
Right.
And so it's
Yeah.
hard to like push through when you're like, or just not do it.
Right. It is hard. I just know from hearing from others and, watching what others are doing and watching the bigger, more successful pages that it is so important to keep that consistency. Just like with reselling, same thing,
Mhm.
listing every day, so important. Um, and, right now, like I'm looking at this time spent, so because I have never worked so much and so hard for so little pay in my life ever.
Welcome.
Ever.
It's official.
Allie, did we tell you we're on episode 101?
I saw that. I was watching 100 leading up to take my mind off of nerves. So congratulations on that. That's amazing.
Thank you.
But I look at it as an investment in potential, what
Mhm.
could be. I'm so thankful to some of the bigger creators who have been transparent. You don't have to be. Nobody has to put out what they're making and all of that. But a few of them do. And it's like, oh my gosh, there is actually potential there. And then I'm seeing, okay, that's substantial.
Yeah.
That's a living. And so now what are they doing?
Yeah.
How often are they posting? All of that. And I mean, I'm just trying to do that thing,
Mhm.
change
Do you
that
think-
while being real and being me.
Do you think ultimately, to be successful long term, that you have to be known for something, or that somebody like, oh, Tall Girl Picker, she does this kind of video, and that like I like her what sold, I like her, or do you think that you can just, because I think YouTube's a little bit different from like the Instagram, the Facebook world a little bit. Like the short form content's different than the long form, obviously. But like, do you think you have to be known for something or lean into something that maybe people expect of you? Or do you think you can kind of just post randomly?
I don't think you have to be. And I'll give you an example. One that I follow that I just adore is Bearded Thrifter.
Mhm.
And, I don't know, I didn't watch him way back when he started, but he's well over 500,000 followers. He just does amazing, content, and it's just real. And it's all he posts about his family and his son and reselling and gives advice and, just life stuff.
All his
You
sleeping
know,
bags.
and his sleeping bags and his whatnot journey and I just love that. And again, I'm not trying to be him, but
Yeah.
I emulate that in that I am every day I post different types of things, and try to just, this is life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't just the highlight reel.
So have you seen a direct correlation between, like, as your followers have grown, have your views grown at the same rate, or do you feel like a lot of people just follow and then never engage? Or, I mean,
It really it varies, but yes, they are close. You can go in on the different pages and look at the charts, and they usually are very similar. Not always exact, and there can definitely be. And I found that if I am not, if there's something lacking, it's usually because I'm not getting out there and engaging enough on other people's pages.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So sometimes what I'll do then is, because it's so weird how the algorithm, it doesn't matter if you favorite somebody or not, you may not see them in your feed,
Mhm.
and so what I'll do is, if I post something gets a lot of comments, I'm going to go through every single comment and click on their page, go through their page, look at whatever I've missed, in the last week of their content, do some liking, do some commenting, but again, I do it where it feels real, like
Right.
something moves me or something makes me laugh or something, whatever it is. That's where I'm not going to just go in and comment on every single thing.
Yeah.
So, but
Is
that's
that,
how
do
I
you,
try to get out there and see more you get more engagement and see more pages. There's a few that I look up because they're my favorites, and so I'll do that. But for the most part, that's how I go in and find my ways to engage.
so do you try to respond to all comments on your stuff right now?
Not anymore.
Too
I
much.
did it first. I can't.
That would explain why she didn't comment on yours, Sturt.
I
Sturt was looking,
cannot.
why did you not comment?
Yeah, I feel better now. I thought maybe she just didn't like me. So
Goes,
I do
who's
try
this
to
guy?
like. I do try to like or heart, or whatever, or laughy emoji or whatever, on each one. I do try to do that. I still miss some of those. But as far as the comments, yeah, I did it first, and I do recommend that if you're just starting out.
yeah,
That
I mean, I always try to do that right now, but I'm getting 8 to 10 comments on most things, so it's pretty easy. So
yeah, and when it gets, as it gets bigger, that becomes less realistic. And so now, I'm looking for something that, again, that moved me, or, that especially if they're asking a question and I need to answer it, and I still miss some of those too. But I try to make sure that I'm responding to those kinds of things. And then maybe a little bit peppered in here and there too. And I also will spread that out. So I don't always necessarily reply to a comment immediately. Because here's the thing, is that every time you reply to a comment, you're bumping that post
Mhm.
back up.
Yep.
It's getting that re-exposure. Everybody that commented is going to see that you replied to it. They're going to see it again. So spreading that out over, a few hours, a couple of days, even sometimes, so can really help get that visibility.
now you haven't been put in Facebook jail yet, have you?
I have not.
See, that's
Nope.
the other thing that just seems like the damnedest thing to me is that
Sturt
you get
rides
these.
there a lot, don't he, John?
Hold on, I'm knocking on like wood count. I'm
Well, I mean,
knocking on
the
wood.
people that have been put in Facebook jail, I mean, they'll usually post something about it, and it
Yeah.
sounds like on one hand, Facebook's through these goals and stuff they give everybody, they're telling post as much as you can, reply as much as you can, because one of your goals might be to do this, but then you do that, and then you get put in Facebook jail because you're doing too much, and it just
I
seems.
really think, and again, I don't know for sure. I don't know anything for sure, but I really feel as though it has to do with that authentic engagement, because when you go, like, let's say you post I hit this milestone, and so you get 100 comments saying congratulations, way to go, da 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 da, and you want to go in and reply to every single comment, and you're saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you,
Yeah, it
right?
looks like a bot then. So
Yeah. And so that's going to flag you.
Yeah.
And so I even talked about this in one of my lives and said, you're going to have to come up with 20 to 50 different ways to say the same thing sometimes. And you're going to want to spread it out and not do
Yep.
it all at once.
Yep.
And
Well,
that's
Sturt, instead of you saying thank you from Sturt Franklin Hill Ventures every single time, you're going to have to spread it out a little bit.
Stewart actually goes to each person's house and thanks them in person.
He puts a little yard sign up that says thank you from Franklin Hill Ventures.
rooting for you.
So, Allie, now that you've kind of found this new world, what's the goal? Where does it go from here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you going to venture into other like social media platforms?
Probably not. I mean, I don't know though. Like who knows what's going to change? I've been hearing about changes to TikTok and all of the different other platforms. I kind of like to keep it simple, and I am one person. I don't, I do it all myself. I'm a single mom, and it's just me. And so I can only do so much.
Yeah.
And again, while wanting to keep my reselling as my, priority, I'm actually not looking at all at venturing into other social media, but I am looking to venture and spread out a little bit on my reselling.
Nice.
So I've been told, and I've been hearing it over and over and over from others. I really do, eBay, and then I have a small amount on Mercari, but that's really just for like the used perfume and cologne that you can't sell on eBay. And then I have 2 vintage booths, and but because I do a lot of vintage, and I'm hearing over and over that Etsy is where it's at when it comes to the vintage
that's
stuff.
my second best platform behind eBay. I mean, and it's
Yeah.
and it's pretty close. And I actually had December was the first time Etsy was my best platform, even over eBay. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, cross post. If you really want to grow on the reselling side, cross posting. I mean, you'll see exponential growth. It's not Johnny and I both cross post heavily. We use different tools, but it's not so much what tool you use. It's just do it. I mean, there's tools that'll help us.
So that's kind of my plan with that. As far as the social media and the page, I don't know. I don't know where it's gonna go or what it's gonna do. I want to keep it fun. That's I'm of the age where it's really important to me to have fun with what I'm doing. I've done the jobs that were miserable for many, many years. I've done that grind, and I'm ready to enjoy what I do. And for now, anyway, I enjoy both the reselling and the content creation greatly. So
that's awesome. I feel like Mercari, that could be a slogan for Mercari. Like, Mercari, bring your used colognes here.
I just sold one yesterday for $160.
See, we just figured out how to save Mercari.
There it is. Done. Well, Allie, we're going to spring you out of the bathroom. We appreciate this hour you've given us on the 101 episode that we have. Thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and go get lots of sales. I hope you get tons.
Well, we hope yours picks up for you, and it's you're back on the upswing real soon.
I'm sure I will be. Thank you.
I'm going to go like all your posts as soon as we get off here. So
Thank you so much.
try to get you moving in the right direction.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Allie.
Thank you, Allie. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We now have had somebody almost die on screen, and we've now had somebody in their bathroom the whole time. So that was great. That was cool.
Yeah.
I wondered if she would be in the bathroom because she does her live Friday night show always from the bathroom. Something to think about. I mean, you could do marathon shows without ever having to leave. So
yeah, it's very. You don't even need the shiwi anymore.
Like your whatnot, you could really do some long whatnot shows from the bathroom.
Hey, Johnny, Sturt's going to start his new podcast from the bathroom. Everybody gets a new podcast.
I think Stewart and Suds would be really fun. Just him in the bathtub.
Sturt and Suds.
Strategically place bubbles, of course.
Yeah, of course.
He just pulls the china out, rinses it off.
Don't need to put them in the dishwasher. We wash them here.
If you're going to be the China King of Knoxville, you really got to get in there with it.
Oh boy, there's a thumbnail, Johnny. Stir it in the bathtub. Oh, that's perfect.
He's just like, I think this is from Japan, and he's wiping bubbles off.
Yeah. I love it. Well, gentlemen, 101 is now in the books. What do you think?
I think we should do 102 next.
I think we should. We'll do that. We'll go to 102 next for sure.
I like it. I like when we do it in order. It's easier to track.
Yeah. You can keep up with things a lot better. So you don't want to go to 135 like.
No, it's confusing that way.
Yeah.
Let's do all 100 episodes in this. Let's do them all out of order.
Yeah.
177 this week.
We just do odd episodes, so everyone wonders where the even ones are.
Or do a 105B or something. No, hey, next week, let's just go ahead and do episode 1000.
Yeah.
I mean, what's stopping it?
Someone's like, "Where's episode 102?" And we're like, "What are you talking about? It's right there. You don't see it?
It's there. We put it up." Now's your chance to do your thing about having her on.
What thing about having her on? I already.
Oh, Sturt, we go through this every week.
You know, when you sign us off,
you just say, "Well, really do appreciate Allie."
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the introduction, and I thought I'd already.
We've already done the introduction.
No, that's my job.
Oh, gosh,
we're new.
I mean, we're new into the hundreds now. So
wait a minute. What time? Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. It's his bedtime, Johnny.
Oh my God, he could get Sturt rubber duckies.
Oh my word!
As part of Sturt and Suds.
Sturt and Suds and rubber duckies.
Where I think it was Samantha who said she would definitely buy a Sturt plush.
They got a new product line coming.
Yeah,
Sturt rubber duckies. Oh, that's on your next That's on your next thing, Johnny. Your next story.
I like
Sturt in the bathtub.
Need to start.
Such place.
Sturt and the golden rubber ducky.
Oh no! A huge thanks to Allie for coming on. That was great. I think that's the first time we've had really a Facebook person on. We've had Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've had pretty much every other platform represented, and now I think we've covered almost everything. I don't know if we've had anybody TikTok yet, have we?
No.
I mean, Doug. No, we talked about TikTok with Dougie.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop Dougie.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's still going strong on TikTok, I think.
It seems like an interesting endeavor, though.
Talking about, I mean, you think, talking to Allie, she talks about how much work it is to have to constantly post reels. I mean, you watch those TikTok videos. I mean, it's like crazy. It's, every show's like a workout because you're having to do all this, like pushing buttons and getting people to push buttons. And that's, I don't have the energy for that.
Oh, Johnny, you've got some great material for the next book.
It's going to be good.
The next story of Sturt.
We'll bring Sturt back soon. Fret not.
And the rubber ducky. Bring rubber ducky in with it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Sturt and Bert.
Sturt and Bert. Well, gentlemen, that is all the time that we have this evening on the Finders Flippers Resell Podcast, the Highway 101, episode 101.
We'll see you next week on 102.
Yeah. Gentlemen, have a great week of reselling, and we will talk soon.